All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And you've provided some really fascinating excerpts from Ashley Vance's biography, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the quest for a fantastic future. And I have to say,
Yeah.
this guy's a bit of an enigma.
He is definitely a larger-than-life character.
Yeah, so our mission here is to kind of unpack
Right.
what makes him tick.
Yeah.
What can we glean about his personality, his drive, and his approach to innovation from these excerpts?
Right, and how he's become so successful. I mean, he's really one of the most fascinating figures of our time, I think.
Absolutely. So what really stood out to you from these biography excerpts?
Well, Vance talks about Musk's childhood in South Africa as being pretty tough.
Yeah.
And he had a particularly difficult relationship with his father, Errol. So, you kind of wonder how much of his drive stems from these early experiences.
It makes you wonder how much of that need to prove himself, to achieve something extraordinary, was maybe shaped by those really difficult years.
I think that's a pretty common thread,
Right.
in a lot of biographies of successful people. Overcoming adversity really motivates them.
Yeah, and even as a kid, you see these hints of the path that he'd later take.
Absolutely.
He taught himself to code.
Right, at 9 years old.
At 9 years old.
Yeah, which is amazing in itself.
It's incredible.
He was also building and launching model rockets.
So, it seems like the seeds of SpaceX were planted pretty early.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But before he was launching rockets, he was launching businesses.
Exactly.
And first in Canada, then in the U.S., obviously ambition was kind of pushing him toward bigger and better things.
Yeah, and those moves weren't just about geography. They were about being at the heart of innovation.
Right.
He wanted to be where the future was being shaped. So he co-founded Zip2, which provided business directories and mapping software to newspapers.
Right.
And then there was X.com, which of course became PayPal, the online payment giant.
Yeah, and what I think is really fascinating is that during all of this, while he was studying at UPenn, he ran a nightclub.
He did.
I mean...
Yeah, that's kind of the side of Musk you don't often hear about.
No, you don't.
It speaks to this willingness to experiment, this curiosity beyond just technology.
Totally. And you have to wonder if that experience navigating the world of, late nights and entertainment and all that stuff maybe informed his understanding of what people want, what captures their attention.
Yeah, you can see the connections there.
Yeah. But going back to his tech ventures.
Yeah.
The sale of Zip2 seems to have been a defining moment for him.
It was.
It wasn't just the financial success, but it was a lesson about control and vision.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that.
Well, he clashed with investors who wanted to prioritize short-term profits over long-term vision. And I think it solidified his determination to maintain control over his companies and ensure that his vision wasn't compromised.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that brings us to SpaceX.
Okay.
This is his audacious venture into space exploration.
Right.
And we're not just talking about launching satellites.
No.
His goal is to colonize Mars.
Colonize Mars.
Full stop.
Yeah, it's really mind-boggling.
Yeah, the scale of his ambition is incredible.
It really is.
And to pursue that dream,
he
strategically chose L.A. as SpaceX's headquarters.
Yeah, Southern California is a hub for aerospace talent and legacy companies.
Right.
So it was the perfect breeding ground.
Yeah, but he wasn't just relying on existing talent.
No.
Vance describes him as this, insatiable learner.
Yes.
Grilling his engineers, absorbing every bit of knowledge he could about rocketry.
He wanted to understand everything.
Right. He wasn't content with just being the figurehead.
Exactly.
He wanted to have a deep understanding of this technology.
Yeah.
That relentless pursuit of knowledge is pretty remarkable.
It is.
And essential because the early days of SpaceX were full of challenges.
Oh, yeah.
The Falcon 1 rocket, their first attempt at reaching orbit, failed multiple times.
Multiple times.
I mean, imagine the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
The financial strain.
Sure.
The toll it took on the entire team.
Yeah, it must have been incredibly difficult.
But it's interesting, though, how those failures seem
seem
to fuel his determination rather than discourage him.
Right.
He doubled down on his belief in SpaceX and his team, projecting this unwavering optimism.
That's really key, I think.
that ultimately kept him going.
Right, because it's contagious.
Yeah.
If you have a leader who believes,
Yeah.
then everyone starts to believe.
And that tenacity paid off.
It did.
They finally achieved success with the Falcon 1.
That was huge.
Proving to the world, and maybe even more importantly to themselves,
Right.
that they could overcome these seemingly insurmountable obstacles.
Exactly. And that success was a springboard to even bolder endeavors.
Right. And that brings us to Tesla.
Okay.
Vance recounts this memorable first meeting with Musk.
Right.
I mean, picture this
Projects.
Musk devouring a steak in seconds.
Okay.
And then just launching into this deep dive.
Yeah.
About his fears of AI taking over the world.
That sounds about right.
I mean, it's a scene that kind of encapsulates, like, his intensity, his visionary thinking, and maybe even his tendency for a little dramatic flair.
Yeah, a little bit.
So the Tesla Roadster, their first electric car, was this, like, sleek, sexy statement.
Yeah, it was.
That captured the public imagination.
Yeah, it really did.
This is a bold entry into an industry that was dominated by gas-guzzling giants.
Right. The incumbents weren't too happy about it.
But the road to revolutionizing the auto industry
was not smooth.
No, it wasn't.
Production delays plagued them.
Yeah.
Financial woes loomed large.
Right.
And a lot of industry experts doubted their ability to compete with these established car manufacturers.
Right. They thought he was crazy. Like, who is this guy to come in and try to disrupt this massive industry?
It would have been understandable if he had listened to the naysayers.
Yeah.
And played it safe. But that's not Musk's style.
Nope.
He decided to double down.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty risky move.
It is.
When your company's hemorrhaging money.
Especially when you're talking about the auto industry, which is so capital intensive.
It was a gamble that could have sunk Tesla.
It could have.
But it also set the stage for their breakthrough.
Yeah.
The Model S. Their luxury sedan.
The Model S.
Not only turned heads, it outperformed many of its gasoline-powered rivals.
Yeah, it was a game changer.
Yeah, it challenged the perception that electric cars had to be slow or boring.
And then there was the supercharger network.
Oh, yeah.
Which was brilliant.
Yes.
Free long-distance travel for Tesla owners. You know, he was addressing one of the biggest concerns.
Range anxiety.
About electric vehicles' ranging anxiety.
Yeah.
He was building an ecosystem.
Exactly.
Not just a car company.
He was thinking long-term.
Okay, so we've got this picture of a brilliant, driven, somewhat eccentric innovator.
Right.
But what about his leadership style?
Oh, boy.
Vance doesn't shy away from describing Musk as demanding.
He's...
even abrasive at times.
Yeah, he sets incredibly high standards.
Yeah.
And he expects his teams to match his intensity.
Right.
And he's known for his very blunt feedback.
Yeah, he's been known to send these scathing emails.
Oh, yeah.
Meticulously listing every perceived mistake.
He's very detail-oriented.
Like that time he reportedly sent an FAA employee.
Oh, yeah.
This detailed list of everything.
I remember that.
They'd said wrong during a meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes direct communication.
It does.
To a whole new level.
Yeah. Some people might call it brutal.
Yeah, it's that kind of uncompromising approach, though.
Right, yeah.
That creates this high-pressure, high-achieving culture at his companies.
You either thrive in that environment or you burn out.
It's no wonder there are questions about the work-life balance.
Exactly.
Or lack thereof within his companies.
It's not for everyone.
Right.
That's for sure.
Even his approach to raising his children
seems
unconventional, to say the least.
Yeah, he's got his own unique style.
Okay, but putting aside the personal, there's no denying that his impact extends way beyond the walls of SpaceX and Tesla.
It does.
He's become a cultural icon.
He has.
A symbol of disruptive innovation.
Right. He's one of those recognizable CEOs in the world.
I mean, he's captured the public imagination in a way that few CEOs ever have.
Yeah, he's become a celebrity.
Right.
Almost.
But the big question is it all hype? Is he truly revolutionizing industries and leaving a lasting legacy?
Yeah.
Or is it all a grand, carefully orchestrated spectacle?
That's the debate, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, some people see him as a transformative figure.
Right.
A modern-day Edison.
Yeah.
Pushing the boundaries of technology. Others are more skeptical.
Yeah.
They question the feasibility of some of his goals.
like colonizing Mars.
Exactly. Like, is that really realistic?
Right.
Or is it just a pipe dream?
Yeah, those contrasting viewpoints are embodied by figures like Kyler Cowan, the economist who sees Musk more as a master of attention than a true innovator.
Interesting.
Then you have Vaclav Smelo, who argues that we're overestimating the impact of Tesla and that traditional manufacturing remains essential.
So he's not sold on the whole electric vehicle revolution.
And on the flip side, you have Peter Thiel, Musk's longtime friend, a prominent venture capitalist, who staunchly believes in Musk's vision. And his ability to achieve these audacious goals.
Interesting.
So where does that leave us? Is Musk a visionary? An innovator? A hype machine? Or all of the above?
Or maybe a little bit of each. It's a complex question.
It is a complex question.
And it's one that we'll continue to explore as we delve deeper into his world.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. You know, it's remarkable just how much Musk's ambition kind of permeates everything he does. You know, it's not just about building companies or accumulating wealth. It's about tackling these really grand challenges and reshaping entire industries.
We talked about his drive to make humanity a multiplanetary species with SpaceX. But he's also revolutionizing transportation with Tesla.
He's got this belief that he can change the world. And he's not afraid to disrupt the status quo to do it. And that kind of audacity attracts attention.
It does.
I mean, he's become this larger-than-life figure, constantly in the spotlight.
He's always in the news.
And that comes with its own set of challenges.
Of course.
He's been called arrogant, reckless, a publicity hound. I mean, he's certainly not afraid to ruffle some feathers.
He's not.
But isn't that outspokenness part of what makes him so compelling?
I think so.
I mean, he's not afraid to challenge conventional wisdom or take on powerful interests.
Like the auto industry.
Think about the automotive industry. I mean, they weren't exactly welcoming Tesla with open arms.
No, they were not. They felt very threatened.
He's definitely shaken things up.
I
mean, the success of Tesla has forced other car manufacturers to take electric vehicles seriously.
They can't ignore it anymore. They're losing market share.
They can't ignore the shift in consumer demand that he's helped to create.
Absolutely.
And it's not just electric cars. He's pushing the boundaries in so many areas.
Like what else?
We touched on his vision for colonizing Mars. But he's also involved in Neuralink.
Neuralink, that's a fascinating one.
Which is developing brain-machine interfaces.
That's a whole other level of ambition, Trying to merge human consciousness.
I know it raises all sorts of ethical and philosophical questions.
It does.
But it also speaks to this fascination he has with pushing the boundaries.
Of human potential.
Where
does it end?
I know. It's like he's constantly looking decades ahead, trying to anticipate what the future holds. And how technology can shape it.
It's like he's playing chess. While everyone else is playing checkers.
But all of this future-focused innovation, this drive to change the world, it doesn't happen in a vacuum.
No, it doesn't.
We have to talk about his political influence.
Okay. That's a big one.
Because it's an essential aspect of his story.
He's become very good at navigating the political landscape.
He's a master at it.
Securing government contracts for SpaceX, subsidies for Tesla, advocating for policies that align with his vision.
So he's not afraid to play the political game.
No, he's not.
But do you think he's driven by ideology?
That's a good question.
Or is it more pragmatism?
About
securing the resources and support?
It's probably a mix of both. I think he genuinely believes in some of these causes, but he's also very strategic about how he uses his influence.
He's expressed support for various political figures and causes over the years.
He has.
But it always seems to come back to this belief in technological progress as the key to solving humanity's problems.
Exactly. Technology is his religion.
And he's been incredibly effective at leveraging his connections and influence to advance that agenda.
Like how? So,
I mean, he secured billions in government funding for his companies.
Which has definitely helped them grow.
Which has undoubtedly accelerated their growth.
For sure.
But those close ties to government
Yeah.
have also drawn criticism.
Of course.
Some argue that he's benefiting from a system
Right.
that favors the wealthy and well-connected.
The old boys club.
Yeah, that he's getting special treatment
Right.
that other companies don't have access to.
Yeah, it's a valid criticism.
It raises questions about fairness
Yeah.
and whether the government should be picking winners and losers
Right.
in the marketplace.
Should the government be involved in picking favorites?
But regardless of your stance on those issues,
Okay.
there's no denying that Musk has become a force to be reckoned with
He has.
in the political arena.
He's a power player.
He's certainly not shy about using his platform to advocate for his vision of the future.
Like, what are some examples?
He's spoken out about climate change,
Okay.
artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
the need for sustainable energy.
Right. He's not afraid to take on big issues.
He's become a thought leader,
Yeah.
shaping public discourse on some of the most pressing issues of our time.
Interesting.
Okay, so we've got this picture
Yeah.
of a brilliant engineer,
Okay.
a visionary entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
a savvy political operator.
Right.
But what about the human cost
Uh-huh.
of all this ambition?
Yeah.
What about the toll it takes
Right.
on him
Mm-hmm.
and those around him?
Can't be easy.
Vance's biography paints a picture of a man
Yeah.
who is driven to the point of obsession,
Right.
who works incredibly long hours
Yeah.
and expects the same level of dedication from his employees.
That's got to be tough.
There are stories of burnout,
Mm-hmm.
high turnover,
Right.
and a demanding,
Yeah.
sometimes toxic work environment.
It's not sustainable.
It makes you wonder about the sustainability of that
right.
approach. Can you really build a company,
Yeah.
let alone multiple companies,
Right.
on the backs of overworked and stressed out employees?
Catches up to you eventually.
At what point does that intense pressure become counterproductive?
Yeah. It's a recipe for disaster
Yeah.
in some cases.
And it's not just about the employees.
Right.
Musk himself has acknowledged
Yeah.
the sacrifices he's made
Mm-hmm.
in his personal life.
Like what?
The strain it's put on his relationships,
Right.
the challenges of balancing his work with his family.
Yeah. You can't have it all.
It seems like the pursuit of his grand vision
Right.
often comes at the expense
Yeah.
of his own personal well-being.
That's sad.
But let's shift gears
Okay.
for a moment.
Yeah.
We talked about his impact on industries,
Right.
on technology,
Mm-hmm.
on politics.
Yeah.
But there's another dimension I think we need to explore.
What's that?
His role as a cultural icon.
Okay. Yeah. He's become this symbol
Yeah.
of disruptive innovation.
Yeah. He's become this sort of like superhero
Yeah.
for the tech generation.
Right.
And he's kind of embraced that persona.
He has.
You know, the eccentric genius.
The rule breaker.
A rule breaker.
The meme lord.
Yeah, and the public has eaten it up.
I love him.
He's got this massive following on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's constantly in the news.
He's everywhere.
He's become a meme.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's transcended the role of CEO
Right.
and become this pop culture phenomenon.
It's crazy.
But there's a danger
Yeah.
in that kind of hero worship
There is.
because it can lead to a blind spot,
Mm-hmm.
an unwillingness to acknowledge
Yeah.
his flaws or hold him accountable
Yeah.
for his actions.
We can't just put him on a pedestal.
Right. It's important to remember that he's not infallible
Exactly.
and that his ambition, while often admirable,
Right.
can also have negative consequences.
For sure.
It's a reminder that even the most brilliant minds
Yeah.
can make mistakes,
They're human.
and that progress often comes with unintended side effects.
That's the nature of progress.
So as we move into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we have to grapple with this complex
Yeah.
and contradictory figure,
Right.
the brilliant innovator,
Mm-hmm.
the relentless driver,
Yeah.
the flawed human being.
All of those things.
And we need to ask ourselves, what will his legacy ultimately be?
Yeah.
What will be the lasting impact
Right.
of his ambition, his vision,
Mhm.
and his undeniable influence on the world?
It's a question for the ages.
We've covered a lot of ground, I think, in our deep dive into Elon Musk.
They have.
We've seen his ambition, his drive, this willingness to push boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think it's time to grapple with the bigger question.
Yeah.
What's the end game here?
There. What's driving him?
Like at the deepest level.
Yeah. Is it simply about building companies making money, or is there something more?
He's repeatedly said that his ultimate ambition is to make humanity a multiplanetary species,
Right. Mars.
with
is-
Mars
yeah.
as the first outpost. But some would argue that colonizing Mars is more about escaping Earth's problems than actually solving them.
Yeah. I mean, is it ethical? to pour all these resources into colonizing another planet?
Right.
When we have so many problems here.
When we have poverty and climate change and social inequality.
Exactly.
But Musk has argued that space exploration ultimately benefits humanity as a whole.
Okay.
That it drives technological innovation, inspires future generations, and acts as a kind of insurance policy.
Right.
Against potential catastrophes here on Earth.
So he's saying it's a backup plan.
Yeah.
Just in case.
He's pointed out that technologies developed for space exploration often find applications in other fields.
True.
Leading to advancements in materials, science computing, even medicine.
Right. So there are spillover effects.
Yeah, so it's not a simple case of space exploration versus solving Earth's problems.
Right.
It's more nuanced than that.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it's about finding a balance between investing in our future as a species and addressing these like immediate challenges.
Yeah, we have to do both.
That we face. But for Musk, colonizing Mars isn't the end goal.
Right.
It's just the first step.
He's thinking bigger.
Yeah. I mean, he's talked about building a city on the moon.
Wow.
Establishing a base on Venus.
Venus? Seriously?
Even sending missions to other star systems.
That's mind-blowing.
I mean, he's not just aiming for multiplanetary.
Right.
He's striving for multi-solar system.
That's a level of ambition that's hard to even grasp.
I know.
But what's clear is that he sees technology as the key to unlocking all these possibilities.
He has this like unwavering belief in human ingenuity.
And the power of innovation.
And the power of innovation to solve any problem.
He's a techno-optimist.
That we encounter. And it's not just talk.
Right.
He's putting his money where his mouth is.
Investing in all these companies.
Investing in companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink.
Yeah, all pushing the boundaries.
That are pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
It's inspiring.
But with that ambition comes risk.
Of course, there's always risk.
We've discussed the potential for unintended consequences.
Right.
Exacerbating inequality, accelerating climate change, even creating new existential threats through AI.
Yeah, those are serious concerns.
And there's also the question of whether his approach is sustainable.
Right.
The pressure cooker environment that he creates. The relentless drive for results.
It takes a toll.
It takes a toll on people.
Yeah, can you really build a better future?
Right.
If it comes at the expense of human well-being?
It's a balancing act.
It is.
And only time will tell whether Musk can strike the right balance.
Right. Only time will tell.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Elon Musk,
we're
left with more questions than answers.
It seems like it.
Is he a visionary leading us to a brighter future, or a reckless gambler who might jeopardize our very existence?
That's the million-dollar question.
I don't think there's an easy answer.
I don't either.
He's a complex and contradictory figure, capable of great brilliance and significant flaws.
He's a very human superhero.
But one thing's for certain.
What's that?
His impact on the world is undeniable.
I agree.
He's forcing us to confront big questions about technology innovation, our place in the universe. And he's reminding us that the future isn't something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's something we create.
Through our choices.
Through our choices and our actions.
I like that.
So as you continue to follow Musk's journey, as you see his ventures unfold and his influence expand, remember this deep dive. Remember the insights.
The complexity.
The complexities and the questions we've explored.
Lots of questions.
What do you think Elon Musk's most enduring legacy will be? And how will his ambition, for better or worse, shape the future of humanity?
That's something to think about.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And keep exploring.
Always be curious.
There's always more to discover.
Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks so much for listening. If you want to get the book for yourself, use the link in the description. If you're looking to level up your income, schedule a one-on-one with me to see if what I do might be right for you. Remember, like if you like the content and share so we can all become more book buff and life smart.